Hey, what's up, family? This is Mia, and today for our third project, I'm going to show you how I took some leftover fabric I had and updated my ornaments for my tree. Let's begin. Alright, so before we begin on how this is done, let's touch on those materials. For me to complete this project, I used some leftover fabric, a couple of packs of Christmas ornaments, some decoupage or Mod Podge, small sponge brush. You can get like a pack of 6 at a Menards or Home Depot, some scissors, and a random 2.5-inch screw. Bear with me, you're going to see why I said that. So when it came to the size of the fabric, I made sure that each piece was about 1 to 1.5 inch by 4 inches when it came to the length and the width, because I wanted it long enough that I can cover a nice portion of the ornaments up, but I also wanted it thin enough so it wouldn't become complicated when I add the Mod Podge. After doing about 12 to 14 ornaments worth of fabric, it was time to move on to the next step. So remember when I mentioned to get a random screw, 2.5-inch screw? This is the reason why you need it. As you are putting Mod Podge and fabric on this ornament, your hands are going to get really sticky if you don't have gloves on. So I decided to use I think it was like a number 8 screw that I had in my garage to screw in the top of the opening of the ornament so that I can hold as I'm putting the glue on. So the next step doesn't require any technique, it's just pretty much a freestyle. As you can see, I simply put on some decoupage, or I keep calling it Mod Podge, and then I apply a piece of fabric. Once I lay the fabric on there just as much as possible, then I'll go back over it with the sponge brush and the glue to make sure it stays down. Now, there's no real rhyme or reason to this. It's literally what you do for the whole ornament. As you're seeing, I just continue to add glue, and then I just pick a random spot to put the fabric on, and then I lay it over. Now, you also want to focus on covering up the ornament, but you also kind of want to make it look like almost like a collage in a sense. So it's okay to lay it over different pieces of fabric. And unlike what I'm doing right now, you can use a multitude of fabrics to do this. You could do all your scrap fabrics. You can do the same type of fabric, which you can see in this one, or whatever you feel. So that's pretty much how you do this. It's very simple, and I would even go to say that it's kind of like peaceful. So I knocked like 6-7 of these out in one sitting. Now don't get me wrong, it can be tedious, especially if you have multiple ones to do, but once you turn on some jams and kind of get into the groove of your technique, you're good to go. So another thing not to fret over is the amount of glue. As you are putting this fabric on the ornament, you're going to bunch up on glue, but the key is to make sure that it's even enough and also that it fully dries, because once it dries, it's going to dry pretty clear, so it's going to pretty much show whatever finish you chose. You have a matte, you have a satin, and you have a gloss. In my case, I chose a gloss. So regarding drying time, I usually give it about 2 to 24 hours depending on the amount and how big the item is. But as you can tell, once it's dry, it dries out clear and you can see a slight gloss on my ornaments. There you have it, fabric covered ornaments. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe and notification bell. Thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.